Welcome back. Let me introduce you to the Badlands MRK2 backpack. This guy right here is my go-to backpack. I've owned, I think, 5 Badlands backpacks, several Walmart backpacks, an Exo Mountain backpack, and this guy right here is the most comfortable backpack that I have worn or used long term. And so I want to take a little bit of time and I want to show you how I utilize the MRK2 for my saddle hunting setup. So first things first, why Badlands? It was in 2014 that I made up my mind. I was done buying cheap gear. I was tired of buying camouflage pants from Walmart or shirts, washing them, and within one wash cycle, all of the camouflage pattern faded on me, or buttons popped off the pants, or I got rips or tears in my clothing because they were cheaply made. And so I started looking through all the companies, lots of great companies out there. But one thing that pulled my eye and my attention towards Badlands was their unconditional lifetime warranty. And so I thought to myself, you know what? I wear the fire out of my gear. I don't like lightly use my gear. I'm rough on my gear. And so I'm going to give Badlands a try. And so in 2015, I started purchasing some of the Badlands apparel and also the Badlands pack. And then for the last 7 years, I have been building on my Badlands collection, and I have quite the Badlands collection as of now. Now, one thing I really like about Badlands is several times a year, they'll run a friends and family discount code, and so you can get 40% off any of your purchases, and most of the time free shipping. Also during Christmas, they do their 12 days of Christmas, and you can get some pretty sweet action gear for really good prices. And that's what I've done with the majority of my Badlands apparel and my Badlands packs. This MRK2 came in at $429, knocked 40% off of that, and at the low price there, after 40% off, you will not find a better backpack out there than this Badlands MRK2. An unconditional lifetime warranty, and I have used that warranty, and without question, I'll send a product in, and no questions asked. Within 10 to 12 days, I got a brand new product, the same thing back. And if just say this backpack is no longer being made, they'll email me and say, hey, we want to give you the next one that replaced this. I love Badlands. I love everything about them. And as a company, they've been good to me. But enough about that. This Badlands MRK2, I got it completely cinched down just so you can see the profile of it. You can see how thin it is right here when all the compression straps are cinched down. Also for me, a backpack has to have an external frame. If you've never messed around with a backpack utilizing an external frame, I would say this, that you are missing out. The external frame takes a heavy load, it distributes it through the pack, and it places it on your hips and also throughout the frame, so that, let's say, a 25-pound pack feels like you're carrying a 10-pound load. If you would load this backpack or any backpack with an external frame down with 25 pounds, and you would take a backpack, let's just say from Walmart, one that just has straps over your shoulder, and you would put 25 pounds on that, this thing would carry like a breeze. Even though this external frame backpack would be heavier, it still feels like it's carrying lighter. When I harvest a deer here in Pennsylvania, I will go ahead and I will debone all the meat off of it, and I will pack it in my backpack. So this bag that you see right here, when I go to pack a deer out, it literally separates from the frame, and now I can stick the meat down inside of the backpack in between the frame and the bag, and I can cinch everything out, and now I can haul my deer out, and I can haul my gear out. Let me touch on a few features that I really like about this backpack. I'm not going to go in depth and do a whole review on this. The first thing I really like is I can change the yoke system or the shoulder straps, and I can lengthen or shorten the torso length, which is a big deal. If you do not have a backpack that fits your torso, then it's going to carry very, very heavy. It's going to have hot spots, pressure points, much like a saddle that doesn't fit you. And so you can change the yoke system, your shoulder straps. You can adjust your waist belt in or out. And also these right here are probably the biggest must-have features. These are load lifters, and what this does is once you put a heavy load on here, your deer's in here, all your meat, your gear, this bag will have a tendency to want to pull away from your back. And so when you set everything up and your bag is now shifting away from your back, you just reach up over your shoulders, you grab these load lifters, and you cinch these things down, and what that does is now lift that bag back up into a vertical position. It transfers all the weight down the external frame, and it sits on your hips. This padding, this foam that they use is just top notch. Fits my lumbar support. My lumbar gives me great support, and I really, really like that. By opening up those straps, you can see now pretty much how far this backpack has the ability to expand. It's a 2,400 cubic inch backpack, and I like that range. Somewhere between the 2,000 to 3,000 cubic inch is somewhere where I like to land with my backpack. Down here on the bottom, now the reason I had the Vario system 2 years ago, and I got rid of that because of this feature right here. They only had buckles that would allow you to tighten this bottom pack here, the bottom of your pack down, but you couldn't unbuckle them like you see right here. And the reason that is so important to me is to have straps on the bottom of your backpack that you can unbuckle. Is this is where essentially my sticks will go. When I'm packing my bag, I just simply take my sticks, I attach them to the bottom, and then I'll just go ahead and I'll just cinch this whole system up like that. This pack comes with a stretch pocket right here in the front. And what I have personally done is I have utilized this stretch pocket for my absolute essentials. My car keys, boom, they're in here. Also, I have it somewhere here. My True Ball Sweet Spot Pro 2. My release always goes into this stretch pocket. You know, keys, my release, and all of that. And that way, whenever I have my bag on the tree, I can just, and I'm ready to hunt, I can just reach down, reach in there and get it. On the outside, you got a nice size pocket like that. What I found works well for me is this is where I'll slip my camera arm. I'll take that, just stuff it right down in there. And also there's times where I'll take my bino harness. I don't wear the straps because on my gear hanger, I hang my bino harness right off of one of my hooks, and then I just let it out like this. And of course, I can grab my binos and look. I don't go anywhere without my binos. That's just me personally, especially in Kansas. I've had way too many times where, 600 yards out, I see something skirting like a fence row, and I'll pull up my binoculars. It's a good buck, and I can make a move. Also, this Badlands bino harness here, I just stuff this mesh pocket with milkweed, and that becomes my milkweed carrier. So anyway, that hangs right there. But a lot of times I'll slip that in as well with my camera arm. Now I have my camera arm, I'll have my base, I'll have my milkweed all over me, I'll have my bino harness in there, and then of course the big pocket. This is a pretty hefty size pocket. I have taken 50-pound bags of corn or 50-pound bags of Redmond salt, and I've just stuck them right down in here. So that can give you an idea how big this main pocket is. You can put a 50-pound bag of Redmond salt down in there, or dump at least 40 to 50 pounds of corn in there if you're running a feeder or something like that. Also inside, you have this mesh pocket. What I do here is I'll put all of my hunting tags right here. You can see I got some zip ties, I got a pen, and I got my Benchmade knife right here, just for gutting. It always just stays right here. I know that I'll always have that. And then when I do a lot of my hiking, I have a 3-liter water bladder in here. When I pack my gear in my bag, what I like to do is when I get to the tree and my bag is now hanging here, whatever I am going to do first on the tree or use first, I will stack that at the top and then build down. If I'm going to change clothing, if I'm going to put on like an outer garment, that will be the last thing I do, so that will be all the way at the bottom. Hanging up my camera system is one of the last things I do. So generally I'll take the base of my camera or my camera and I'll go ahead and stuff that down in the bottom. If I am not wearing my saddle in, I'm walking a mile, 2 miles, I will pack my saddle. This is the Method 2. It has 34 feet of my rappel rope, my Mad Rock, and it also is carrying my lineman's rope. So I'll just roll that baby up We'll stuff that in the pack. I do not carry a machete. I was out checking trail cameras today. I was hanging vertical licking branches. That's what all this is about, putting some Smokies pre-orbital scent gland in there. Ring of steps. Now here is an option that I have. If I know I'm one stick climbing, this is my one stick. The out on the limb, 14-inch post to post. I switched this year just to get a little height advantage, but also so that I can fold it down like that. What I really like about these stretch pockets is I can take my one stick. It fits right here in the stretch pocket with ease. And then I can use my compression strap. Whenever everything's ready to be cinched down, I can use my compression strap like this. My one stick right there fits perfect in my stretch pocket, so I really like that. So as you can see, I had the option for my one sticks down here or my actual one stick right there. Prior to having this pack, I would hook my platform on my saddle as I'm climbing up, and what I started doing was I simply loosen up this bag from the frame, and of course this will be the first year using the X-Wing, but I'll loosen up the bag from the frame, and I won't put it in there all the way, but I'll just wedge my platform in between the bag and the frame, and then whenever I go to cinch that down, of course it will hold it there without letting it fall out. And also with the external frame, I don't feel any of that on my back because of all the padding. If I'm walking a long way, I will put my gear hanger at the top of my pack, and then when I get to the tree, I'll open it up. And I always take my gear hanger and I'll stick it in the stretch pocket of my scree pants. And when I climb the tree, then I have it to just hang up my stuff. That can also go in here at the top. So right now, you saw all the gear that I put in here. And as I'm looking down, I'm only halfway up the bag filled. This bag has a lot of room, a lot of movement. And as I'm building my pack, of course, you don't want a lot of weight hanging off your pack. So I'll cinch, when I'm done, I'll cinch this load all the way down. Use these load straps like that. And of course, that will just bring that weight to your back. And also it will minimize your profile. But you can see the capabilities of this pack and how well it holds your gear. And this is kind of more of a minimalist setup. I'll have water or food if I'm hunting all day and stuff like that. But I have my saddle, I have my camera bag, I have my ring of steps, I have my gear holder, I'll have some extra clothes if I'm there for a long time. I could stick the X-Wing right down in there if I wanted to, or again, I can just slip it in between the bag and the pack. And that's basically all the gear that I have for this kind of a setup. Built into the MRK2 is a bow holder. So I'll take the old Matthews 27-inch V3, stick the cam right down here in the holder, and then I'll use the compression strap up here, wrap it around the frame. Actually, I'm going to go over my sight here. I can cinch that down, and I don't always do it, but there is a strap here that kind of wraps around and makes sure your bow stays in there. That's how I walk into the woods, just like that. I want to show you, and hopefully you can pick it up on this camera. I want to demonstrate to you the load lifters real quick. Of course, any backpack that you put around your waist makes you look like you're pregnant. Always makes me self-conscious. But as you can see right here, these straps are right here on my shoulders. There's no gap there. I feel all the weight pulling away from me. I'll go ahead and I'll buckle up the chest straps, which also keeps your shoulder straps where they need. Now, as I grab these load lifters right here, like this, and as I pull these guys, you're going to see it pulled that whole pack in, or the whole bag in, and now I've got probably an inch gap right here in my shoulders. There is no weight on my shoulders. When I pulled that bag in, all the weight came up and it transferred down this external frame, and now I have weight sitting on my hips. And so again, this is where, for me, an external pack is big. If I was to put all this stuff in a backpack that did not have a waist, a waist buckle and load lifters, it would feel like I'm carrying 25 pounds. And so I really, really like that. But again, you can just see right here, it literally lifted all the weight off of my shoulders. The weight is distributed through that frame, and now it sits on my waist. Super, super comfortable. The purpose of this video was just to highlight some of the reasons I like the Badlands MRK2 backpack so much. It's versatile. It has a lot of adjustments to customize it to your body style, your back, all of that good stuff. It holds a heavy load super, super easy. It has the external frame, all of the adjustments. And you can see if I'm going on a hunt that's 5-6 hours and I'm just doing my minimal setup like you see here, it can easily handle all of that. And now if I harvest a deer in the mountains, the public land mountains of Pennsylvania, I have enough room in this pack not to have to go another mile back to the truck, dump all my gear, then walk all the way back, or 2 miles, whatever. I can literally take the bag, I can separate it from the frame, and I can pack out the deer with me. And so super, super versatile. I like that a lot about this Badlands MRK2. As always, guys, if there's anything that I did not cover, something you would like me to cover, just let me know in the comments section below, and I'll do everything I can to answer your questions. Until next time, good luck to you.